Describe to me, like, describe your channel.
Last one of you to take your hand off this $1 million stack of cash keeps it. I bought over 1 million Christmas lights. I bought this entire island. I have 10 challenges and we have 10 people. And the last one of you to leave this island keeps it.
That is where it gets complicated, because as you saw, not a single one of those videos were even remotely like similar to the other one.
I'm gonna attempt today to answer a question I get asked a lot. And the question is this: how do you come up with your ideas?
Oh my God, I get to go home. My husband had a heart attack about a month ago. He died the next day and they shocked him back to life. And we've been trying to make ends meet and pay the bills.
I've learned a lot about creativity from these two YouTubers, Mark Rober and MrBeast. And in this video, I'm about to show you how you can use their stories and apply to yourself and be just as creative in whatever you do in life. You see, sometimes when we talk about creativity, we think this word is only reserved for some special genius or for someone who sends people to the moon or to space, or for some celebrity or someone of some high significant social status. But the truth is that creativity is in each and every one of us. The only difference is that some people have learned to master it more than others. When I see the word creativity, I see the word create. But the truth is there will be no ability to create if there was not a creature. So every living creature has the ability to create, which in turn makes us tag them as being creative or not. This brings me to my first point. Creativity is born when we create. A lot of people will put on the pedestal as being creative. Actually being creative because, first of all, they create something. We could talk about Elon Musk creating electric cars. We could talk about MrBeast creating entertaining videos. We could talk about Mark Rober creating extremely scientific videos in an entertaining form and adding his own style to it. I'm gonna get back to that later. You see, I'm currently sitting on a log of wood. If I take this log of wood and take them to the market, no one is gonna call me creative. But if I take this log of wood and make them into a chair, which is beautifully designed and crafted, and I take them to the same market, people are gonna tag me as being creative. The difference is because I took something ordinary and I created something extraordinary out of it. Our creative muscles are actually being built up the moment we start creating. But creating alone is not going to make you creative. Creativity comes from making things in your own uniqueness. This brings me to my second point. Creativity is born out of our own skin. Creativity comes from being in your own skin. You see, there are 7 billion people around the world. And 7 billion people actually means 7 billion varieties. Sometimes our insecurities actually makes us think that, oh, if I do things in my own way, probably people will not like it. That's why we try sometimes to do things in other people's skin, per se. Just imagine MrBeast trying to be another David Dobrik, or Mark Rober actually trying to be another Dude Perfect video. No one is gonna love him, because people love Mark Rober for being Mark Rober. People love MrBeast for being MrBeast. People are gonna love you for being you. Our creative process comes from when we learn to embrace ourselves, when we learn to flow in our own energy. Because the truth is, people are gonna love you for being you. And when you learn to embrace yourself, you learn to embrace your own energy and flow in your own creative strength.
Basically, yeah, I remember thinking like every day back then, like, I'm never gonna be a YouTuber, but I really want to be a YouTuber. And it just like, after like year after year after year after year after year after year, like literally it just like, this is never gonna happen, but I'm still gonna try.
Creativity comes from repetition. Sometimes we try things once and because they do not work out, we give up on them. MrBeast actually said this in one of his videos.
We sometimes have videos that have horrible retention.
That plunger video was a fail, I heard.
Yes, yeah, but see, I learned you can't climb with plungers and I gotta be less stupid. He's talking about a video we scrapped where we tried to climb with plungers on the side of a wall. Spoiler, you couldn't.
I remember when I was growing up, my dad used to say to me, Rome was not built in a day. As a kid, I didn't quite understand him, But as a grown-up right now, thinking of those words, I think they bear a deeper meaning to me. Sometimes we try things once, twice, 3 times, for 1 month, for 3 months, and because they do not work out, we actually give up and say, oh, maybe it's not just for me.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work.
I thought I was a massive weirdo. And I was super shy, and a big part of why I was shy is because all I wanted to talk about, all I did talk about was YouTube. And people would all tell me all the time, they'd be like, you're too obsessed. They'd be like, there's things other than YouTube, and a lot of people would just make fun of me because they were like, why the hell do you care so much about YouTube? I'd be like, literally, I'm 15, I'm quoting stats about YouTube. I'm like, all right, this is how you do it. I want to be a YouTuber. And that literally, I would just 10 times a day, I would just say to the same person, I really want to be a YouTuber.
Creativity comes from obsession. A lot of people we see successful at what they do have something in common. They're actually obsessed about what they do. Sometimes we start things for the wrong reasons, for money, to prove something to someone, for clouds, for fame, and we don't have the perseverance to continue when it becomes hard. The truth is, starting for the right reasons gives you enough strength, enough perseverance to continue, and when you continue, your creative muscle is being built up in this process.
You made 1,000 videos of Minecraft and 1,000 experimental videos. None really found traction. And then you did this one that was a little bit about your personality, a lot about a stunt.
Just because you start one way doesn't mean you will end that way. That's the misconception a lot of people have, because they think that, oh, I need to do it perfectly when I start. It's a big mistake. MrBeast started by making Minecraft videos, and today he does totally different types of videos. Our creativity evolves over time. As we learn to continue and to do things, more ideas come. The truth is that we learn more about ourselves in the journey. The journey actually changes us and helps us discover more about ourselves than we actually knew of. I remember when I first started, I was doing initially charity projects, and then I was doing live shows, and then I started making YouTube videos. I don't know what I'm gonna do 5 years from now, but one thing I can assure you is that I'm gonna continue to discover myself.
Have you ever wondered why a company's first product looks totally different from their product line 5 years later? Yes, you can attribute that to some more research and development, or the company being in a much more better financial position. But part of it is due to the evolutionary process, the creative process that shapes us into producing better as we evolve.
Just start where you are, because creativity is actually inside of you. You can be as creative as anyone else. As long as you're a creature, you have the ability to be creative. Go out there and create something. Go out there and repeat the process. Obsess about it and evolve along the way.